Not every dress, client, or job is worth saying yes to. With decades of bridal alteration experience, I have learned that saying no is a very powerful form of integrity.
Saying no with confidence. It's a mark of integrity. March Madness is upon us, and if you are in the bridal industry, you know what March Madness really means. Brides are plentiful and work can become overwhelming. It's very easy to become overbooked in March. And if you service prom dresses too, that piles on top of bridal. Oh my goodness, it's a busy time here in March. Whatever kind of sewing business you have, there's usually a busy season. What I say about bridal applies to any type of work that has a flux of work now and then. When you take on a bridal job, you are committing to do the work to the best of your abilities. Each new dress you agree to do needs to be carefully considered. Make sure you have the amount of time available that it will take to not only complete the dress, but also to have the time to do your very best work on it. Integrity means knowing when to say no. It's tempting to take on more work than we can handle for a variety of reasons. We need more money, or the bride seems very desperate or persistent, or the job looks easier than it really is. Or basically, we are just people pleasers and have a hard time saying no. But overbooking can cause us to put out less quality of work as we rush through the dresses. We also make poor decisions when we are sleep deprived or we are in too big of a hurry. Trust me, bad things can happen. I want to tell you about a story. Oh, I hate to talk about this, but I think you can learn a lot from this. Um, this is called The Prom Dress Cut Too Short, and you can find the video. I'll have a link to it. But just let me tell you the short version. It was during March. It was very, very busy. I worked for a bridal store, and they also sold prom dresses. This girl had a dress she just loved, but she had decided she wanted it cut to knee length. It was a big, long, full ball gown and very beautiful pink and black prom dress. So I took home carload of dresses and started working on them that night. And it was it was early in the morning. I was planning on doing an all-nighter, getting these dresses done. I measured the dress from the hem up to the pin, how high up she needed that hem raised, which was quite significant. And then took that measurement, got the dress out, and measured from the waist down that much and cut into the skirt. I almost immediately, as I took that first snip, I realized this is bad. This is bad. Stop. And in my head, I thought, back away from the dress. And I looked front and center. I had just cut very, way too high. And it was a good 6 inches that I had cut on the outside layer of that skirt, on that dress. In the early morning hours when I was obviously very sleep deprived and had been working very long, hard hours. And I had just ruined her dress. And I was sick about it. I was just like, oh my goodness. So taking just a little thought, I said to myself, you need to just go get some sleep. Don't touch anything. Just walk away and go get some sleep. So I did. About 5 o'clock in the morning, I woke back up because I needed to get work done. And I finished the rest of the dresses and went back to that one. And I mended as carefully as I could that little part. It was very apparent. Yeah, it was there. And called the shop owner on my way in to work and said, "Hey, I just ruined a dress. I thought I better let you know, and I will be reimbursing her and letting her buy whatever dress she would like at your store or wherever she would like it." And it's good to let the store owner know these things instead of trying to keep it a secret from them. Anyway, she came in and we looked at the dress. I said, "I ruined your dress. I am so sorry. Here it is. I have a few solutions. If you don't like my solutions, you are more than welcome to just buy a different dress. Either at this store or another, I will pay for it. And again, I'm so sorry." And they were like, "Well, let us see it." And the girl put the dress on. And one of my suggestions, first I suggested just doing a layer of the black tulle over top. And the other suggestion I did was having ribbon stripes going down the skirt in a few places. And of course, one strategically over the place where I had cut it. And she decided she wanted the ribbon stripes going around and horizontal stripes. And so I did that. And when I brought it back again, I said, "Now, if you don't like it because it looks stupid, you can still take me up on I'll buy you another dress." She looked at it, she says, "No, I think that's good. I think I like it better." And I said, "No, you're just being nice to me." And she's like, "No, I really do like it." And they were pleased. And of course, I did not charge them for their alterations. And they left. And the next prom comes around, and here they come in, marching in the door. And I said, "Well, it's nice to see you. I didn't think you'd ever come back here again." And she said, "Well, we will only let you alter our dresses." And I said, "Why?" And they said, "Because we trust you." And I said, "What do you mean, do you trust me?" And they said, and I said, "You trust me to ruin your dress. That's what happened, guys." And they said, "No, but you were honest with us, so we know we can trust you." And they ended up, after that store closed, driving over an hour up to my house to have me do their alterations because I was the only one they trusted. They knew they could trust me. And even her wedding dress, I did her wedding dress, and that was nice. But the moral of the story is, first of all, always be honest. People will forgive you for making mistakes if you own it and you try and make things right. People will not forgive you if you try and be sneaky or sly or get away with it without them noticing. That's when you are not forgiven. People will forgive for human mistakes, but not for sneaky trying to not own it or being defensive and acting like it's not your fault. Just own it, be mature and professional, and things will work out okay. Second of all, is it honest to be overbooking and doing that many dresses? I should not have been taking more dresses than I had the capacity to do. I learned a very valuable, hard lesson from this. I have 2 hands and 1 sewing machine. There is only so much work I am capable of doing. And I was taking a bit, I would say a lot more than I was capable of doing a beautiful job on. People did not come to me thinking that I would be doing their alterations in the middle of the night, very sleep deprived. They thought I would be doing them with my best mental capacity and doing my very best work for them. And, I learned a hard lesson on integrity with that situation. And please learn from my experience instead of going through it yourself. Please learn from me. Integrity means saying no. Okay? I hope you've enjoyed this editorial from my newsletter, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.